So today I wanted to talk about motivation. How do I find motivation to do my work or the passion I want to do or purpose? All right. So you got your equipment. You got your stuff. You know what you have to do. You've researched a lot and so forth. But the thing is, you never find motivation. All right. And the reason for this is that you keep researching and researching. All right. I will give you a perfect analogy here. This is a mindset that is super powerful, that is great. This is a great mindset. I didn't invent it, but I don't know who invented it, but it is great. It is powerful. Use it, all right? Use it for everything. All of these tools are universal. Use them for everything. All right, so the solutions will look alike, all right? Because everything is about working on yourself. You gotta find self-interest. You gotta find an interest in yourself, all right? You gotta find an interest in yourself. So see yourself as a character. All right, let's talk about video games or PC games or whatever games you like, all right? Think of those. Think of yourself as your character, all right? But in life instead. You are your own character. I've talked about this before, but you gotta, I have to repeat this because this is such a powerful mindset that no one uses, all right? So imagine yourself in this MMORPG, in this role-playing game, this game or whatever you're used to. Let's say a TV show or a movie, like the protagonists and so forth. Like in Lost, for example, you had these main characters, and actually the show became a bit self-aware, where some characters, the others or whoever it was, that talked about like, it's always about you guys, but what about us? And that's true. It is self-interest. The show is only interested in the protagonists, all right? The show is only interested in protagonists. And you should be the same, all right? You should only be interested in the main protagonist in your life. And who's that? Of course, it's you. You're the main protagonist in your life. Your family, your friends, and so forth are, your closest, all right? So those are the main protagonists in your life. And you help them. But first you need to help yourself. So this protagonist, he can't have any, issues with, let's say, all right, so in an RPG, you have your armor and stuff like that. So the problem is that what you're doing right now is you keep searching and looking at other characters, all right? You keep looking and searching at different characters, researching and comparing yourself and comparing the boots, armor, chainmail, sword, weapons, you keep looking at their rings. Look at these people, they have this fire ring. This person has a fire ring, all right? No. You know where you have to find the fire ring. You know now that you have all the knowledge. You've researched enough, all right? You know that the ring exists. You know that where you can find it, or if you don't know that, you research where you can find it, and then you research how you get there. Or how did others get there? How did this person get there? So even better is ask this man or woman where they got the ring, all right? How did you get there? So it's the same with work. It's the same with everything, all right? So when you're training, let's say calisthenics, all right? So I want to have big body, big muscles with calisthenics, all right? I'm doing calisthenics, bodyweight workout. And then I find these people, and then I ask them, or I research them and watch their YouTube videos and so forth. And then I learn how to get there because they showed me their way, the path, all right? And I'm doing the same here, by the way. This is how I cure everything, all these mindsets. This is how you cure everything, addictions, sugar addictions, and so forth. You work on yourself. That's the main thing, all right? It doesn't have to be perfect, all right? Perfecting yourself doesn't mean that you're perfect. or even that you want to be perfect, because when you're perfect, you have nothing else to perfect. So you don't want to be perfect. And even if you think you're perfect, you gotta work on stuff, because you're never perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. There is no such thing as perfection, because we've actually even tried to do this. In science, I remember there was these scientists trying to perfect this sphere, like making a perfect sphere. It's impossible. They couldn't do it. All right. Even on the quantum level, there is always something. There is always some error. All right. There is always some error. Even if it's 99.9%, there is always this 0 or even 0.0000000, even infinite, error. Because error is built in nature. There is even a theory that even in time itself, there is an error. Time might actually be in chunks and in quantized, and it actually might go a bit backwards and then forwards again. All right. So, well, this is in quantum mechanics and so forth, but it is strange, of course, but I'm just trying to explain to you that imperfection is part of nature. All right. You can take DNA. You don't have to go to cosmos. You can take DNA, and you know that life wouldn't exist without the error. You can't create a child without this error in DNA, because it would be the same as the mother and father, and that makes no sense. That wouldn't make sense in nature. It wouldn't create something new. So you need the error to create something new. All right? You need the error to create something new. You see, you need failure to create something. You need failure to succeed. All right? So that is not incorrect when people say this, even if it sounds like a cliche. But I'm telling you in new language so that you don't think it's a cliche. All right? I'm telling you in a new language, a different way to tell this, so that you don't think that this is false. All right? All of this stuff is correct. Knowledge is power is also correct. All right? When you have knowledge, when you know how to make money, you can have power. When you know how to influence people, you can have power, and so forth. All right? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. That is true. That is the truth. How do I motivate myself? All right. So like I said, you got to have an interest in yourself. All right. Let's take an example. Or let's head back to the character thing. All right. So you got to see yourself as this RPG character. Try to perfect your own character, but do that in real life. All right. So instead of playing a game, you play the game of life. All right. It is such a powerful mindset. You gotta change your mindset. You gotta change to this mindset. All right. Or mentality, or whatever you want to call it. This new way of thinking, or old way of thinking, doesn't matter if it's new or old. Don't concern yourself with originality. Just go and take action. All right. So you gotta see yourself as the character of your life. All right. You gotta see yourself as the character of your life. Otherwise, you'll never find motivation. You'll always look for others, comparing yourself all the time. Imagine if you're playing a MMORPG and you're just looking at people and comparing and stuff. You would never do that. You actually take action. Ironically or paradoxically, people take much more action within a game, within a simulation, than in real life. In real life, you just sit there. You love art. Let's say you love art and stuff, but you keep just looking at stuff on YouTube or Googling, like, how do I take a better photograph? How do I do this better? How do I do that better? But you never execute anything. You never work on your art. You gotta work on your art. You gotta work on your work to be passionate about it. All right? You gotta keep on going. You gotta keep on going. And if you're not passionate enough in the moment, do something else that you're much more passionate about. All right? You might have many hobbies. People have sometimes a lot of hobbies. They have no idea what to choose, but choose the one that you're currently most talking about. So if you're talking to friends or family about something, and the very thing you're talking most about, do that. All right? Do that or solve that if it's a problem or something, watch my videos or my Quora. Actually, I'm also on Quora. You can check out my Quora answers and stuff there. If you have any questions, you can ask me on Quora as well, on YouTube, wherever you want to. All right, so let's take this example. So speaking of art, let's take this perfect example of, all right, so you're a filmmaker or you want to be a photographer. You're not quite sure, but if you're not sure there, you have to choose like either a photographer or a filmmaker. You can't go with everything, all right? Or perhaps you take video and photography on weddings, let's say. So you know what you want to do, photography, filmmaking, stuff like that, all right? And you've researched everything, all right? So stop researching. You know how to take photographs, you've researched how to take photographs, or perhaps you haven't, but you got to do that first, of course. Well, not first, you can research and try things out, all right? That's even better because you need experience. It's not like Henri Cartier-Bresson, the best photographer in history, I would say, or Sebastião Salgado. He was also, if not just, he's amazing, all right? You gotta find the greats as well. So that's an important thing as well. You gotta find the greats. So you're inspired by great people, all right? So you can take great photographs and so forth. You got your equipment, you got everything, but you don't have any motivation, you never do stuff. All right, you'd never do stuff because the underlying reason is, of course, you're not working on yourself. You're not perfecting yourself, you're not trying to improve every aspect of yourself, even within your art, within your work, within photography and filmmaking, all right? Perhaps you have researched a lot, and you know how to take, you know all the, ISO, shutter speed, you understand all that stuff. But the problem is that you never go out, you never do stuff. One thing you could do is to take small steps. Make a short film, all right? Just make something. Just make a short film, and when you do this, when you do the process, something will ignite in you, or should, that makes you feel, oh my goodness, I want to continue with this. I want more, all right? When you do the process, you want more. If you don't want more, then the process, there's something wrong with the process. It should be perhaps photography instead of filmmaking, or filmmaking instead of photography, or something like that. You have to find whatever it is that you love within this art. You got to realize this stuff, and you got to work on this stuff, all right? So you don't have motivation because you're not working on yourself, you're not improving yourself, you're only constantly looking at others, all right? The same way I talked about the video game stuff, all right? You keep on looking at other people's armor, you keep looking at other people's video cameras or channels, and you wish you were that channel or something like that. You wish you were this person, you wish you were that person. No, stop wishing you are different people and start just working on improving every aspect of yourself, your life, but your art as well. Go make a short film. Go take a photograph. Go outside, go to the streets, go to a bigger city and take photographs. Go to nature and take photographs. Take macro photography. Take distant photographs. Take, telelens stuff. Take whatever, all right? Try all the techniques, methods, everything, tips. Try this tip, try that tip, all right? You do everything, well, not everything, but within your stuff, you try every method, and whatever works, you keep on doing that. And then you build, and eventually you'll get there, all right? You will get there. But you have to keep motivated. You keep motivated by working on yourself. You got to find your diet, you got to find your exercise, you got to find your sleep, you got to find your meditation, and so forth. This is essential because this will affect your art, this will affect your work, this will affect everything. And there is another underlying reason here, and you actually don't have purpose. You lack purpose. Well, that's obviously connected to not working on your first foundation. That is your main purpose. Healing yourself, helping yourself is your first purpose. That's the first principle, principle. The second purpose principle is you got to help others, or you want to help others. You realize this in the process, and you help others through a medium. That's why photography and filmmaking is more advanced, actually. You got to work on yourself first before you can realize that you want to help others through your art, your medium, whatever it is. All right? You're actually going forwards too fast. All right? A lot of people do this because they wish they have these desires. All right? So you have higher desires. A lot of people have higher desires. We don't lack higher desire. We lack purpose. All right? Direction, purpose. Purpose means direction. It means aim and goal. Look up the etymology on purpose. Purpose. All right? So you can take incremental steps. All right? You can take some small steps, do some short films, take some photographs. You gotta go out. If it helps, take a friend with you. If you don't have any friends that like photography or filmmaking, find these people. I mean, you might as well use social media while you're at it, but you gotta also stop social media because you're wasting your time there. You just keep on comparing yourself to other people. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop focusing on your own armor and shoes and chainmail and rings and other accessories and stuff. All right, that's the analogy. You gotta start the process. You gotta take action. You gotta take action. You gotta just take the step. Just take the step, and don't care about anything else. Don't care about what your heroes say. Don't listen to Quentin Tarantino. Don't listen to any of your heroes. So with art, you have gotta have this deeper purpose. Let's say you want to take photos, you want to be a filmmaker, but the reason something might actually hold you back, for example, this mindset that you gotta do your own art, you gotta go deep within yourself and all that stuff. You gotta be the tortured artist. No, you don't have to be the tortured artist. You can follow this dictum from Steven Soderbergh, all right? And I still use this. This is great because I created my own dictum out of this. I call it self-time and purpose time. Purpose time is when I work about my work. That's my business and all that stuff. Self-time is when I keep on improving my foundation, the first foundation, my core. Health in general, diet, sleep, exercise, fixing my circadian rhythm, sleeping properly, consistently, eating clean, and so forth. All right? As clean as you can. At the very least, as clean as you can. And train as good as you can for 1 hour in the beginning every day. Later, you can take a rest, Saturdays, Sundays. All right? But in the beginning, you just try to improve yourself as well. You can work all of these things simultaneously if you want to. That is great as well, but a lot of people can't multitask. They shouldn't multitask. You shouldn't multitask. So the Steven Soderbergh dictum is one for me and one for the studio. One for me and one for them. All right? So one for self time and one for purpose time. All right? But for me, purpose time takes actually much more of my time than my self time. Because my core is so, I've basically perfected my core. I found my diet, I found my sleep, I found my meditation, I found everything, all right? So when you do art and you lack this purpose because you're not willing to compromise, you're not willing to create for other people, you think of yourself all the time. That's why you need to work on yourself, ironically, paradoxically. But when you do that, you start hitting this wall where you realize that I want to help others, because what's the purpose of keeping this body in shape and so forth if I can't help others do the same? All right? So that's the wall. That's the very definition of the first wall, or actually the second wall. You gotta understand that you have to do wedding photographies. You gotta do stuff that works, that makes money if you want to live off your passion, your purpose, and so forth. All right? And that's why you don't have motivation as well. This is also why you don't have motivation, because you hate the process. You start hating the process, and you can't hate the process. You got to have joy in the process. Otherwise, none of this will hold in the long run. It barely holds in the beginning. As you can see, you have no motivation. How do you keep motivated doing this stuff, creating films? And you might ask yourself, is this my passion? It doesn't seem like I'm passionate about it. It doesn't seem like the thing I want to do. When you start questioning yourself, you start going down that road, and you just create nothing happens. You got to realize that. You got to work on yourself to find your purpose before this can hold in the long run, okay? You got to go deep within yourself and ask yourself, so what's the purpose of my photography? What's the purpose of my filmmaking? Is it to help others? Is it to just create my own, artistic films, photography, and so forth, that never sells actually, and so forth, that doesn't have a market, all right? It's very difficult to make a business out of it, create a business out of it, but you can create a business, of course, out of it. You take photographs that people want, you create a business around that. The Steven Soderbergh thing, his phrase, like, one for me, one for them, all right? So this is what you can do actually. So you create some art for yourself that keeps you motivated, and then you create for them, so to speak, your clients, and then you have money as well, so you're not hating the process. So there is a dynamic between those, but you gotta be willing to sacrifice some time there for them and so forth. Otherwise you can't make money, and you'll be miserable if you can't make money. So that's why I think wealth is very connected to health. So you gotta fix your wealth as well, so you don't have this underlying subconscious problem all the time, all right? So we can't start hating the system or start hating capitalism and so forth. You gotta stop hating stuff. Just work on yourself. First, build your first foundation, build your second, then third and fourth. You don't have to worry about those right now. This is much more important. Almost no one is on the third and fourth yet, all right? Or you might have ideas and stuff, but they're not that developed. You don't have deep purpose. All right, so if you have any problems with this, with diet, exercise, finding your purpose, changing your career, finding your direction, all of these things I talked about here and in my previous videos, if you have sugar addictions and stuff like that as well, depression as well, anxiety, I can help you, I can guide you through all of this stuff. We'll make a step-by-step plan, or plans rather, and we will get rid of all this stuff so that you can live a more satisfying life. All right? So keep on working on yourself, keep on focusing only on yourself, especially in the beginning. Everything will be great, everything will be fine, everything is fine. We'll see you guys tomorrow.